name's Amanda and welcome to my May favourites. The first favourite I'm going to start off with is the quilt that I made in my Quilt Along With Me series. If you missed it, I called this quilt Geo Dreams because of the Geo print that I used mostly in the block. I have quite literally been I have been quite inseparable from, is that the right word? Inseparable. Throughout the month of May, I have literally been inseparable from this quilt because I was pretty much working on it every single day, and it has just become just such a beautiful, beautiful favourite from the month of May. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about when I mention my Quilt Along With Me series, it's a series that I have been doing over the last month or so, showing you and teaching you the basic steps of how to make a quilt. So if you have ever wondered or have been interested in making a quilt, check out the series and learn how to make this beautiful, beautiful quilt. I will shamelessly plug the link to that now. There's a full pattern that goes with it, and I guarantee that you will learn a lot. Now, I do have a secret motive to why I wanted to share this quilt with you first. It's because it is absolutely freezing in this room at the moment. So I wanted to use this quilt to keep warm with. So I'm going to now very, very happily place it on my lap and get on with the video. Let's do this. Yay. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. I love it. My movie favourites for this month have to be some of the movies from the Studio Ghibli collection, especially the ones called My Neighbor Totoro, this one, Kiki's Delivery Service, as well as Arrietty. I would have to say Arrietty at the moment would have to be one of my favourite Studio Ghibli movies. When I watched that, the animation was just spectacular and the storyline is just so beautiful, and it's just a really sweet movie. It's based on the story of the Borrowers, but it's just set as like an anime type Studio Ghibli movie, which is just, it was just really, really great. I have seen Kiki's Delivery Service before, and then I watched it again this month and I just absolutely love it. It's a story about a little girl who is a witch who flies away from home to learn her craft, and then there's lots of cool sort of escapades and adventures and things that she gets into, which is really, really quite cool and sweet. I'll pop some links in the description box to the trailers for Arrietty, Totoro, as well as Kiki's Delivery Service, so that you can check them out and see the type of movies and films that they are if you've never really heard of the Studio Ghibli movies. So moving on from movies, I have a book favourite as well. It's not really, no, it is a book. It's a cookbook. No, a baking book actually. If you don't know, I absolutely love baking. It's like the next thing that I love next to sewing and quilting and patchwork and all that sort of stuff. I saw this book when I was shopping during the month, and I got it because it's the Australian Women's Weekly and they always have really great cookbooks and really great recipes, and it was all sort of like all-time favourite type baking sort of recipes, and that's what the book is called. It's called All Time Favourites by the Australian Women's Weekly. I didn't really get a chance to look at the recipes when I was in the store. I just sort of picked it up because it was cheap. Well, it's $20, which is really good for an Australian Women's Weekly book, and it's so heavy and it's a hardcover, so I thought for $20 it's really, really great. When I got home and started flicking through it, I was like, we were all salivating. I got so excited reading this. I really, really love the way that the book is set out and the photography. Each recipe has a photograph of the finished thing, which I think is really, really great. I think that visual cue really, really helps, especially with baking books, because you'd like to know what they look like. This one, can you see that? A 6-layer chocolate cake. Holy moly. I really, 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 really want to make these. This is popcorn butterscotch squares, which I think just look like a treat. This one, it is called Little Chocolate Hazelnut Cakes. Can you tell I like chocolate? Now Now I haven't actually made anything out of this book yet, but I am itching to. I just haven't had any time to do any baking this month, and I've just got this huge urge that I've just sort of had to sort of keep at bay because I've just been so busy with my quilt along as well as a few other projects that I've got in the works. But I'm planning maybe this coming weekend of hopefully getting into this book and making something, and if I do, I will definitely share the final result, I guess, of what I've made on my Instagram, so go check that out. And here comes a selfish Instagram plug. You can find me at 3 3/4, and you can see all of the quilting stuff that I do as well as other things that I like to put on there. And yeah, so from my favorite book, let's move on to my favorite app. And this month I have been absolutely been obsessed playing Crossy Road. I know, like a lot of things, I'm totally late to this whole phenomenon, but it's lots of fun to play. It's pretty much just a modern take on the old game Frogger, when you have a frog and you have to try and get it to cross the road and streams and stuff without it sort of like getting hit or being drowned, getting drowned, becoming drowned. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much the premise of the game, and then you also have to collect coins and stuff along the way, and then once you have 100 coins you can buy like another character in the game. The thing that I liked about it was that it's free. It does have in-app purchases, but I just ignore them. I usually take off my Wi-Fi when I'm playing this game. But other than that, it's totally free to play. You're always sort of advancing and having the ability to get new characters that will do different things. Yeah, it's just sort of lots of fun to play, to sort of procrastinate with, or sort of like have a quick couple of little, you know, plays along before you go to sleep. I also play it when I'm watching TV and the ads are on and you're like, eh. So it's just a fun little game that I've been loving this month. Right, so let's move on to some beauty favourites, and the next two things that I'm going to share with you, I showed you in my Body Shop haul that I did a few weeks ago. The first thing that I have absolutely been loving this month, and I've pretty much worn it every single day since I bought it, and I just, I love it. It's the Vanilla Eau de Parfum. This month, if you had happened to run into me or bump into me or meet me or whatever, I would have smelled like vanilla. It is just such a lovely, subtle fragrance, and it doesn't sort of go away. You know, sometimes you have like perfumes, you spray it, and then like halfway through the day you just can't smell it on you anymore. This, you can smell it like until you go to sleep. Like, it's not like overpowering, it's just a really nice, subtle, feminine type scent, and I just really love it. I think this is definitely in my top 3 favourite perfumes, which is saying a lot because I love perfume. And the other thing that I've been loving from the Body Shop is the Hemp Hand Protector. Because it's winter now in Australia, yes, it is freezing, and when the weather is this cold I get really dry hands really easily, so I've been putting this on usually before I start working as well as before I jump into bed, and I just find that it absorbs really easily. It's not greasy. It has quite a pleasant type of scent. I wouldn't say that it's my favorite scent, but it's just really, it's a really comforting, warming type scent for me, and I just find that popping this on just makes my hands just feel a lot better, and I very much recommend it. And moving on to my last favourite for this month, and it is a song. It's not very often that I have just one song that I have absolutely been loving listening to, and it's also been one of those songs where I just wanted to listen to it over and over again because it is just so lovely to listen to. And that song is called The Art of Escape by Hayne Cooper. I'm pretty sure he's an Australian artist, and I'm maybe about 90% sure that he's from Sydney, which is, yeah. His song is just so beautiful to listen to. It is so mellow and down to earth, and just, it's just really lovely sort of chill out type song, and I really have been listening to it over and over again. I will place a link to the music trailer on YouTube down in the description box below if you want to check that out, and I would definitely recommend you do, because it's just so nice. It's just a lovely song. So there are all of the favourites that I have been loving this past May. I seriously cannot believe we are in the middle of the year. Like half of the year has gone, which is crazy. It's crazy. If you have had anything in particular that you've been loving during the month of May and would like to share it with me, comment down below and we can have a little bit of a chat about it. Now, of course, if you'd like to see more of the things that I do here on my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you come and join me. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you another time very, very soon. Bye! I've sort of lost count of how many Hexie flowers I've made over this past month, but I've just sort of been churning them out and churning them out because they're just really relaxing and fun to make. And I've made this one with the fabric that I've used in my Crawl Along With Me series.